Tonight, I shall play Russian roulette, live in this barn behind me. One gun, one bullet, and every intention of being alive at the end of the show. As ever, no actors or stooges are used in making this program. This evening, I will play Russian roulette live with one person chosen from the 12,000 who applied to load the gun. Tonight, you'll see how I selected that one individual, and I'll demonstrate some of the tricks and techniques that I will use to survive tonight's performance. Before we begin, I should point out that this evening's event takes place in a controlled environment with the full cooperation and supervision of firearms experts. Russian roulette should not, under any circumstances, be copied. It is extremely dangerous. If I'm not 100% certain that I can pull it off, I won't pull the trigger. I am sat here surrounded by videotapes from people that love the show and wanted to apply for Russian roulette. There are 500 of them. Place is a mess, and I'm sat going through them. I'm looking for someone to play with. It all started with a trailer we put out. This was asking for people to go to a website and fill in a form and apply if they wanted to take part in the Russian roulette. Your task will be to load a single bullet into a revolver. My task will be not to die. 12,000 people responded to that. We got back in touch with about 1,500 of them and asked them to send in tapes. I am now sat with the result of that process, 500 tapes.
Everyone's heard of Russian roulette, but nobody ever plays it, do they?
I think for me it's very much an involvement in a new experience.
It's making history, it's saying this happened here now and I want to witness that place and time.
Derren Brown is the master and I'd love to see him in action.
Out of these 500 tapes, I need to find 100 people to invite to London. Those 100 people will come, meet me, I get to meet them, and they will undergo a series of tests as a group to whittle them down from the 100 down to 5 people. Those 5 people will then come with me to our secret location where the game will be played, and just before the game's played, they'll whittle down to one person. There's one person out of the 12,000 people that applied, out of the several million people that watched that advert. I can try and describe these processes to you, but in the end it is just an instinct because all these things become unconscious. There are things in the way they dress, or the way they look, the way they make eye contact or don't, or even the way they talk, or they remind you of somebody which you bring all that baggage to it. In the end, I just see them and I feel them and I know that's the right sort of person or it's the wrong sort of person. It's the only way I can describe it. There are 6 chambers and 1 bullet in the game of Russian roulette. One of the first tricks I learned was to tell under which of 6 numbered cups someone had placed an object by having them look at each cup in turn or count from 1 to 6. The Russian roulette game is simply an expansion of the same game. You take your bracelet off for a second? Yeah. Sure. Okay, thank you very much indeed. 2 cups.
Yeah.
I'll look the other way. You take your bracelet, you put the bracelet under one of the cups.
Yeah.
All right? And you feel free to move them around a bit so I can't, tell which one it's gone under, but I'll look the other way. Go.
It's not looking over here, mate. Looking at the floor.
Done?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Let me tell you why I'm hoping you just put that under number 1, all right? Because what people tend to do, even numbers are kind of warm and comfortable. People tend to go for even numbers. I'm hoping you're going to try and catch me out and put it under number 1. That's what I hope. Okay. No, that's great. It's terrific. It means this is easier for me because you're going to try and catch me out, which actually in a way makes you more predictable.
Yep.
So it also means I will try and do this without, all right, I'm not even going to try and influence you or use any language tricks to manipulate you or anything. It's absolutely fair, all right? We'll do it with 4 cups.
All right.
Put it under any one of the 4.
Okay.
Completely free choice, all right?
Yep.
It's up to you.
Ah,
Go.
that's fair.
Free choice.
All right.
Is he done?
Yeah.
You done it?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Look at me. Let me just tell you first, all right? I'm hoping it's number 1 again, specifically because I told you the first time that you've done something that everybody tends to do. It's that feeling like you felt you were obvious. So the second time, of course, you're going to want to catch me out, and the easiest way of doing that is to keep it in the same one a second time. Yeah, excellent. Again?
No, I give up.
No, one more time. We'll do it with 6 cups.
Go on, all right, let's go.
We'll do it with 6 cups. Now, look, feel free when you've done this to move them around. I don't want you thinking that there's anything to do with the way the cups are pointing, all right? So you can change the numbers around, you can do whatever you like.
No problem.
Let me just make that absolutely fair and evenly spaced. Okay?
Yep.
Go. Interesting. You done?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. Let's just think. You did 1 twice in a row, you were trying to catch me out.
Yeah.
Just look at me, just count out loud from 1 to 6. Take your hands out your pockets, just look at me. Right. Relax. Nice and slowly, clearly, from 1 to 6, go.
1.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
4. 5.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. Gonna turn over all the ones it's not under, all right?
All right.
I'll turn over 5.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Maybe that one? Yeah.
Boy,
Thank you so much indeed.
that is quality. That is excellent. I absolutely done everything I could to see if this guy was somehow trying to cheat or if there was anything going on, and there's nothing going on. He's just... That's the first time I've been shocked like that in my life. Just baffled, as I said. I'm absolutely baffled.
I asked them on the tape to say what their average day is, beginning with the words, "My average day is."
My average day is...
It's so interesting how this shows people's self-perception, their self-promotion, how they want to promote themselves, and their self-esteem.
My average day...
Have a shower.
Get ready.
I like to do a bit of stair diving.
Music. I enjoy listening to.
I love gardening.
Feeding Murphy. Feeding myself.
Read and go to sleep.
The other thing on the tape was to dance. I said at the end of the tape, I want you to do a dance, just 10-second dance, but you have to do it. If you don't, you are eliminated. And of course, that's about their bravery, commitment, and of course, for me, it's hilarious to watch. But that is embarrassing for people, so I wouldn't dream of showing any of those clips. So I invited my 100 favourites to London for a day of fun and games.
It's going to be a piece of television history, and to be able to say that I'm a part of that, that's why I applied.
I am fascinated by what he does, and I want to know how he does it.
The boy's a nutter, and I just want to meet him and find out whether it's just daftness or genius or something else driving him.
I'm feeling nervous, and I keep looking at other people, and my belly's going.
You don't know what he's looking for, that's the problem.
I'd prefer to leave quickly rather than get into the last 10. I think if you got down to the last 10 or even 6th person, that would be quite nasty.
It's not a talent show kind of situation where I'm in competition with everybody else. Everyone's just basically here, showing who they are. If we can be of use to Derren, fantastic. If not, then thanks for the day.
Morning. Thank you very much for coming. In a moment, I'm going to get you all to follow me through into another room. There are exactly 100 of you here. And you're going to undergo a series of tests, psychological games, if you like, to whittle you down from 100 to 5. And those 5 people will then come with me to our secret location, which I can tell you now is Barbados. It's not. I just made that up. It's not Barbados. It's not Barbados. The games will be ruthless, and some of you will be out within moments of walking into the other room. I'm aware a lot of you have travelled far, so I want to apologise for that now, because when we're in the room, I won't necessarily be able to be very civil, OK? So, I'm going to come down, and I would like you to follow me through to the other room. When you're in the other room, I want you to take a seat, wherever feels comfortable, and as quickly as you can. Later tonight, I'll play Russian roulette in this barn behind me. So far, you've seen how I whittled 12,000 applicants down to 100, and here's how a further 95 of them were eliminated. Right, to come through, find a chair as quickly as you can in the room, please. Pass the message down.
Okay, so the first round is as follows. There are 100 of those. There are only 90 chairs. So the first 10 people that don't find a chair will be eliminated and will be out of the game.
Quick as you can, grab a seat, please. Is that all the seats taken? Yes. Thank you, that was round 1. There are 100 of you, there are only 90 seats. Those of you not quick enough or keen enough to get a seat, I'm afraid, have eliminated yourselves already from the game. Thank you very much for taking part. If you'd like to make your way back through the doors. Thank you very much. Right, those of you laughing in the back row, you're also eliminated from the game. The back row personality, unassertive, nervous, not interested in you, I'm afraid. You're going to have to go. I'm terribly sorry. If you'd like to make your way again through the doors. And you can take the front row with you. You're all way too eager to shoot me in the head. If you'd like to make your way back through the doors. Thank you for taking part.
Really stupid. It was such an obvious mistake to make.
You expect a few tricks and didn't expect it to be quite this dirty, though.
We were very lazy. We were just ambling along and he's got to get cracking, so it was a fair comment, really.
I'll remember next time how ruthless Derren Brown actually is.
The rest of you, you've got 3 minutes to take your chairs and form 3 rows along the long side of the room, facing into the middle of the room. Do that now, thank you. All relaxed? Yeah? Good. Robert, where have you come from?
North London.
North London, good to see you. Edward?
Ipswich.
Ipswich. Yeah, you're eliminated. If you'd like to... No, I'm joking. Sorry. A golden envelope I'm going to place here on the chair. We're going to play a game, and the game is called Cross the Room. And in the game of Cross the Room, you decide whether or not you want to stay where you're sat or whether you want to cross the room. Then, after a number of you have crossed the room or stayed here, somebody will open the envelope. The envelope contains a message. It either says that everybody that crossed the room is eliminated, or it says that everybody that stayed here was eliminated. It's as simple as that. I'm going to point out some people who must cross. Stand for me, Stuart. Natalie. Elizabeth. David. Francis. Stuart. Daniel, you're going to cross. Edward, you're going to cross. Philip. These people must cross. Have a look at them. Are these people I want to keep, or are these people I want to eliminate? This is the only clue you're going to get. Sit down again for me. By crossing, are you eliminating yourself, or are you keeping yourself in the game? I'm going to give you 5 minutes to make that decision. A maximum of 35 people can cross. That's half of you. Your 5 minutes starts now. Let's play Cross the Room. Seats at the back. I swear to God, if you cross the room and sit on that side, you're through to the next round. Four, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is your 5 minutes up. The chap with the envelope, would you please stand for me? Thank you, Daniel. Open up the envelope. Inside is a folded piece of paper. In your nicest, clearest voice, will you read out what that says inside?
I'm terribly sorry, but all the people who did not cross are eliminated. Everyone on this side has won.
Simple as that. Let me explain. The point of that was I needed people that would respond to the suggestion of crossing over the room, people that would simply obey that command that was there. I'm terribly sorry you didn't do that. I'm going to ask you to leave, but thank you so much. Thank you. Congratulations, all of you. What I'd like you to do is to take your chairs and form 7 rows of 5 in the centre of the room with spaces in between. And then when you've done that, if you can go to the back of the room, grab a sheet of card and a marker pen, then come and sit back down. Thank you very much. If you can do that now for me.
We had a choice whether we could sit across the room or not, and I moved. And then I moved back again, and it turns out that I moved to the wrong side.
It's a wonderful way to lose, actually, because I'd rather not be suggestible than go through.
Right, so you all have a card and a marker pen. What I'd like you to do for me now is to draw a face. All right, now you can interpret that in any way you like, but you need to make sure the face you draw, A, is large and clear, but also that it has some distinguishing feature, something about it, idiosyncratic enough that you'll be able to recognize it later on. I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. Large and clear. Go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Please hold it up against like this so I can't see it as I turn around. I'm going to ask you in a moment to pass them up to the front. Keep them face down. I'm going to ask one of you, just caught my eye, chap at the back, hang on to yours, all right? The rest of them, if you can pass them all forward so they end up with the person at the front of your column. The person at the front of the column who ends up with them, just give them a little mix around. And if you can pass them along when you're done, and again, as you get them, feel free to mix them around a little bit more. Thanks, Jamie, that's great. Okie doke, thank you. Nope. Interesting. No. Nope, psychopath. Nymphomaniac. The way that we draw faces says so much about the way we see ourselves and the way we see each other. So, okay, I'm looking at one here now. What this drawing says is noise. Nobody behind it. Let me just show you. The marks here, they're like sound marks. It's the mouth and the shouting. You can see someone who's energetic, yeah, because of the lines, because of all this, and somebody who works with sound, who works with loud music. Mo, is this yours? Is that your drawing? Yeah, it is your drawing. Okay, this one here, this one is all about looking. Again, nobody back an eyelid, please. Let me just show you. There are two things here. First of all, I said this is the eyes that somebody would draw who works in the visual field. It's also, it looks animated. It looks like a cartoon character. These are also the eyes of a dog lover. Who had the spaniel called Ralphie? That was you, James. Yes, is this your drawing? Yeah, and you do, don't you? You work in graphic...
Yeah, motion.
Motion graphic, exactly, yeah, fantastic. Excellent. So there's a guy at the back. Would you stand up for me? Don't let me see your drawing, just hold it against your chest. All right. The questions I start to ask are, will Daniel be self-obsessed enough to draw a reflection of himself or one of me? You've got a dark sort of look that you obviously like. You're wearing an earring, I can't really see from here, or two. You got, yeah. And there'll be some sort of... I'm tempted to give it a goatee, but I think not. Evil face, dark eyebrows, grin, earring. Will you turn it around? Show us all clearly. Not far off. Thank you, then. All right, all those of you whose pictures are now on there, including you, Dan, just stand for me. Congratulations, you're all through. The rest of you, I'm afraid, I'm going to ask you to go home. Thank you ever so much. Round of applause for them, please.
Maybe my picture was over-elaborate. I think he was looking for sort of clarity.
Well, I was a bit gutty because he put my drawing on the board and then took it down again, so it's a bit... But at that point, I didn't know whether that was a good thing or a bad thing.
I thought, you know, really in with a chance now, and it's all going so well, so really disappointed.
Okay. I'm going to come and split you into groups of 3. Let's have you three as a group, that's great. If you can move around here, David, and if you three come out here, I'll put you there with Jamie. James, if you come over here and swap with Sharon. Daniel, if you can come around here with these two, can you come forward for me? I'm just going to write down the names of some of you. Okay. I'm going to give you a few minutes to decide which person from your group will now be eliminated. Put your case to the other two as to why you should stay. Over to you, in your own time. Thank you.
I would like to stay in a bit, David.
I quite like the usual single touches, but they're too little, I think, for the show. It gives so much fun.
So are we supposed to be like making a case to stay, or am I supposed to say, well, you should go because you have glasses on?
I'm very grateful for getting this far. I'm quite happy if these you two you want to go for it.
Why don't we just see who we think, and the person that has the most voice is the person?
I'm not with that bothered.
Are you happy with that as well?
That's fine.
James, you're a hero.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you. Can I ask the person, please, who's being eliminated from this group to stand? Your name is?
Daniel Love.
Can I ask the person who's being eliminated from this group to stand?
Warren.
From that group? Your name is?
Jamie.
The person who's being eliminated from this group, please stand. Your name?
James.
And lastly, the person being eliminated from this group, please stand. Daniel. What this is survival of the fittest, but it's also survival of the shrewdest. It's quite easy when you're in groups of 3 for 2 of you to gang together and vote the third person out. Now, in terms of the sort of person that I want sat opposite me across the table when I've got a loaded gun, do I want a shrewd, calculating opportunist? No. I'm after people that are more modest and compliant, and the sort of people that would allow themselves to be eliminated in a game like this. So that is David, Warren, Jamie, Daniel, and James. Which is why, when I put you into your groups, the 5 names of the people I wanted to come with me were Daniel, Warren, Jamie, David, and James. Congratulations, you 5. You are coming with me.
Sick, annoyed, destructive. One of our teammates decided to volunteer himself straight away. It dawned on me straight afterwards exactly what was happening, by which time he got his foot in the door, and that was that.
Make us proud. I'm really excited because Warren went through, so I was really happy about that because it was hard to do that voting thing.
He's written down the names that he wanted and it proved to be right, so I think he knew what sort of people he was looking for anyway.
Congratulations, first of all, obviously. But I just want to have a moment with you before we go any further. I need to know that you are aware of what's in store, that any one of you will have to load a bullet into a revolver, hand the revolver to me, I'll put the gun against my head, and I will be risking my life on my ability to read from you your unconscious signals. If you don't want to be in that position, you can absolutely say so now, and you can walk away, and that's absolutely fine. But I need to know that you're absolutely happy with this before we go any further. Yeah, do it. Yep. Yep. Okay. Well, then it's an absolute pleasure to have you on board, James. Daniel.
Cheers, Derren.
Jamie, Warren, and Daniel. Thank you so much. The 5 seemed confident, but the next stage was to see how they would cope with loading a Model 28 Smith & Wesson revolver. Very soon, you'll see me choose the person who'll load the gun. And to prepare, we all went to a firing range. Under British law, you're not allowed to fire a live round unless you are a qualified armourer. This is why the live game has to take place overseas. Our armourer wishes to remain anonymous throughout the show.
This is a Smith & Wesson 357 Magnum revolver, okay? If you push the cylinder opening catch forward and push out with your hand from underneath, the cylinder will open. to load the weapon, take a cartridge. This one is a dummy cartridge, okay? It has a red end. The ones that we will use on the day will not be painted red, okay? They will be live rounds. We then put the cartridge into the weapon. We then close the cylinder like so and lock it forward. I'm now going to unload it and make it safe. As you cock the gun, you can see the cylinder rotates. There are some numbers painted onto the cylinder so that you will know which cylinder you put the bullet in. Okay, what I'd like to move on to now is for you gentlemen to load the gun. If you'd like to come around first, sir. Okay, Derren, if you'd like to just move slightly out the way. So if you'd like to pick the gun up, keeping it pointed in a safe direction, open the weapon up then. Okay, and I would like you to put a cartridge in chamber number 2. And then close it up. Put a blank in cylinder number 5. That's good, okay. Close it up. Cylinder number 3. Blank cartridge in cylinder number 4. Cylinder number 6. Just put it in. Close it up.
Some people might think I could play Russian roulette safely with a blank bullet. Our armourer took us outside to demonstrate the damage a blank causes at close range.
Here we have the blank round, and we're now going to load the gun. To reproduce Derren firing a blank against his head, this is what happens. This is the entry hole. This is the exit hole. Blowing the top off the bottle. As you can see, blanks can be just as dangerous at close range as a live round.
As it became increasingly real for the 6 of us, our armourer loaded a live round.
Here we have the live round. I'm loading the bullet into number 3. Number 3. Okay. And I'm now closing the chamber. As you saw from the gun being fired, there's no flash. It's very different from as you see it in the movies. Any questions to that? Anything at all?
The next test was to see how accurately I could predict their behaviour by this point. We're going to play a game. The game is word association. You all know the game. Yes, someone says a word, you say a word, but you would instinctively connect with it. Any hesitation, any repetition, you're out, and I want you just to take a seat on one of those over there, any chair that you like. Daniel, I'll start with you. Your starting word is friendly.
Unfriendly.
Rubbish. Rubbish, James, go take a seat. All right, start again. Jamie, your starting word is dull.
Boring.
Passive.
Active. Sub. Above.
Below.
Around. Before. After.
Take a seat. Warren? Ridiculous.
Amazing.
Clever.
Thick. Thin.
Skinny.
Fat. Heavy.
Large.
Big. Tiny.
Small.
Minute. Infinitesimal.
Minuscule.
Go and take a seat. Okay, just 2 of you left, head to head. Jamie, boring.
Dull.
Yeah, repetition. Go take a seat. Which makes Warren our winner. If you'd like to take a seat as well, Warren, either one. Well done, and congratulations, Warren. Interesting that none of you sat in the black chair, that the black was left free. That's the one that would attract me most. That would be my chair out of the 6. In fact, James, if you want to just pull out from underneath, there's an envelope. And just take it out and show the camera what that says, and then place it on the chair. It says Derren's chair. Although you're probably now wondering what it says under your own chairs. Daniel L., Daniel Love, will you just take that out for me? Open it up, show the camera. Daniel L's chair. In fact, all of you, just pull out the envelopes. Daniel P's chair. James, open it up, show the camera. James's chair. Jamie's chair.
Price elimination.
That'll be Warren's chair. And you'll also notice that you've arranged yourselves into perfect alphabetical order, going through Daniel L, Daniel P, Derren for me, James, Jamie, and Warren. Congratulations, you five. You are fitting into these patterns I need absolutely perfectly. Well done. Thank you.
It would appear that we're all falling into Derren's master plan, and he's starting to read us rather well.
More confused by why I was thinking the colour green the moment I walked into the room.
The fact that I was wearing a yellow t-shirt might have played a part in it, but I suppose I could have picked any colour at the time.
The man is putting his life at risk, and I'm just glad that he's actually reading us well.
I'm starting to wonder if there's anything he doesn't know about us.
Later that day, I took them out for dinner. It's just a game. Are you enjoying that? You drank it all?
One go.
Just give it.
All right. This is the cork. I'll place that in the centre. James, I'd like you to take the cork, hold it onto the table. All of you put your hands under the table. I want you to pass the cork around under the table, but try not to give any indication of who's got it or who's passing it to whom. All right? Okay. I will look the other way for this. Go. Fake as much as you like.
Oh, you've got very soft hands.
Okay, that's it. Stop. Whoever's got it now, just hang on to it. Keep your hands under the table. All right. Now, I spent a couple of days with you all, and I've got a sense of your personalities and how you interact as a group, so I should be able to do this. James took the cork to start with. I see you all as animals. This goes back to the caricaturing that I do, the painting that I do. James I see as a deer, like a baby deer. You know, one that can't walk properly yet. You've got one of the stronger members of the group right next to you. I think you would just pass it straight to him. Warren, then... Initially I saw you as like a mole, but I see you more now as one of those Komodo lizards. Just sit very still, very good. I'm sure you'd love this as well. Just quite intensely watching, and then the tongue would come out, and they'd just grab. But I think you'd just pass that on as well. Daniel's different. Daniel's the cat, the black cat. A little more detached, a little cooler, rather fond of itself, a little prone to licking itself. More likely to try and mess things up a little. I think you'd have passed it back, or you'd have passed it across. And then it would have gone across again to Jamie, the Labrador. You'd have just passed it on again. To you, Daniel. Kind of see you as the shaggy but good-natured mongrel. Very good-natured, but not properly house-trained yet. So I think you'd have tried to mess things up. You'd have had to pass it around. You wouldn't have wanted to come across here, so you'd have passed it around again. But ultimately, what's interesting in this power play is who you will eventually work towards, who you will think towards. And I'm hoping that the cork would end up with a person that you all would unconsciously perceive as the leader of the group, who is the one that, in his own way, is most controlling. The cork at this point can only have ended up with you, Warren. Will you just bring your hands up for me? If you have got it, or if you haven't got it, I don't mind. Just keep your hands like this for a second. There's no other answer. You must have it. Open your hands. Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Because of the British gun laws, we've travelled overseas to play Russian roulette in a secret location. Guys, for 4 of you, this is as far as it goes. I can only take 1 of you through to play the game. So I just want to thank you all now for doing this and taking part and being so extraordinary. Daniel, it's been a real pleasure. Daniel.
Thank you.
Jamie.
Cheers.
James.
Yeah.
And Warren, you too. Thank you very much. All right, if you look in front of you, you'll see these cameras here. I want you from now on just to keep looking in the cameras, even when I'm not talking to you. Just keep looking straight ahead. Please try not to move your hands. Those cameras there right in front of you. Just keep looking right into them. Okay, we bring some lights up on you. One last task for you. I want you all to think of a word. Now, you may not want to go for the first word that comes to mind. That's fine. Feel free to change your mind a few times, but then settle on one word for me now. From now on, do not change your mind. Stick with whatever you've got now and be absolutely honest when I ask you what your word is. Okay, first of all, can I have the camera on Daniel Love, please? Thank you. All right, okay, so Daniel, all the way through this, has been trying to remain very sceptical and cynical and absolutely solid and detached from the whole thing. You can see this here, you can see it in his eyes. Absolutely solid. This will be a solid word, a detached, controlling word like control, or solid. Daniel, what's your word?
Fox.
Okay. Then I'm sorry, I can't use you. Okay, Daniel, pipe, please. This could be two things. This could be two things from Daniel. And it's either... I have a feeling this is to do with fragility. He's a very sensitive character. And then this is a sensitive personality under pressure, which is what he's feeling now. It could be one of two things, but I have a feeling it's that. So it could be a fragile word, fragility, like egg or glass or china, something that breaks under pressure. Something like that. What's your word, Daniel?
Glass.
Fantastic. Jamie, please. Jamie, okay. Okay, with Jamie here, I think what he's doing here could be a couple of things. He could be giving me calmness, but I think what it is a feeling of being above it all and somehow sort of looking down and just sort of being above the whole thing. And if that's what he's doing, I can't use him. So it would be a word just flying above the process, like a plane or a kite or something like that. Something like that, something above, looking down. You can see it, it's in the mouth. And what's your word, Jamie?
Kite.
Kite. Okay, thank you. And I can't use him. James. See, James, throughout all of this, it's just the level of nervousness. It's like, keep looking to the camera, please, straight to the camera. It's like a little boy. It's like, he's so in touch with the level of reality with this, and the fear is so much stronger with him, and just being, it's like a little boy who's lost his mother in a department store, and this will be a fear. It's just nerves, it's just getting nerves from him, like shaking, or nervousness, or that sort of thing. James, what's your word?
Nervous.
Thank you. And Warren? Warren, what's your word?
Sheep.
Okay, that's close enough. Can I have a wide shot, please? Daniel pipes the fragility of that connection you made. I'm sorry, Daniel. It's not going to be you either. Which leaves you two. It leaves Warren and James. And James is going to be you. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, thank you. James, I've given you a couple of minutes to gather your thoughts. I want to explain to you why it was that I chose you. Okay, out of the whole group, aside from the fact that I read your word correctly, but out of the whole group, you are the only one who I feel has really embraced the reality of this and what I'm going to do. All right? But I want to check that you are okay with this and genuinely happy to do it, yeah?
Yes, I am.
You are?
Yeah.
All right, terrific. Then what I'm going to do is give you another session with the armourer.
Okay.
And I won't have any contact with you and I won't speak with you until we actually play Russian roulette.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll ask you to get out then. Thanks very much. The game of Russian roulette that you're about to watch is being performed in a controlled environment with the full cooperation of firearms experts. And I know, as a viewer of this show, you'll be intelligent enough to be aware that this should only be attempted by me here with this level of preparation and expertise. Can we bring James up now, please? You all right?
Yep.
Okay, this is the room where we're going to play it. Okay. These are fixed remote control cameras around the room. This here is bulletproof glass. You're going to be sat behind this for some of the time. All right?
Okay.
This is the table. Before you sit down, I want you to check under the table there are no hidden cameras. Do that for me now.
Nope, that's good.
All right. Have a seat for me. Thank you. James, can I ask you to verify we have not spoken since you agreed to play the game?
No, we haven't.
And you spent some time with the armourer, who's taken you through everything again, and also explained this to you?
Yeah.
This shield?
Yeah.
Can you explain what this is? This is a shield we've had made. When you load a bullet into a revolver, you can see along the side here and at the front where the bullet lies, in which chamber it is. We've had this shield made, which fits onto the top and stops either the camera or me from accidentally seeing where the bullet is. Are you happy with that, and you're happy that's all the shield does?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to bring the armourer over.
Gentlemen, these are live rounds. Please cover your ears. James, select a round, stand it there.
Thank you. Thank you. Our armourer will now leave, along with our cameraman for safety reasons. The rest of this will now be filmed using these remote control cameras. Okay, aside from you and me, now this room is empty. Also want you to know we are going out live at the moment. And also, James, I've signed a disclaimer. I've signed a form that absolves you from any legal responsibility for this, all right? Also, morally, you are not responsible for this. It's my decision to do it, and I'm responsible for it, okay?
Okay.
If it fucks up, it's not your fault, all right? Pick up the gun. Take the gun under the table. Can you see the numbers?
Yes.
Okay, move it around a bit, familiarise yourself with the numbers, make sure you can see them clearly. I want you to choose one of those numbers. You keep that number to yourself, but have a look at them now and choose one. This number you choose now, it doesn't matter which one it is. You can change your mind as many times as you like, but you make that decision for me and you settle on a number. Are you thinking of one now?
Yeah.
All right, you need to repeat that number to yourself over and over again, quietly in your head. Fix that number in your mind. Pick up the bullet. You're going to place that bullet into the number chamber you were just thinking of. As you do it, keep your fingers away from the trigger. Do that for me now. Put it in. Check as it goes in. Double check that it's going in the correct chamber, the one that you're thinking of. Is it going in the correct one?
Yes, it is.
All right, lock that number into your mind. Keep your fingers away from the trigger. Keep the gun pointed down at the floor. Feel free to move the cylinder around a bit. You can move it as many times as you like or spin it, whatever you like. Whenever you're ready, close the cylinder, snap it shut, make sure it's closed. Keep saying that number to yourself, James. It's very important you remember it.
Okay.
All right, pick up the shield. In the way the armourer has shown you, and keep your fingers away from the trigger. As you do this, you're going to place the shield now onto the gun. Keep your fingers away from the trigger. It's okay, take your time.
Yeah, it's locked in.
Is it on?
Yeah.
In the way the armourer has shown you, again, without pointing the gun directly at you, I want you to check that you can't see where the bullet is, neither from the side nor from the front. Happy with that?
Yep, can't see it.
Great. Place the gun on the table for me. All right. That's the hard part over for you. All you've got now in your mind is a number between 1 and 6. You need to lock that number in your mind so tightly now, all right? Just take a minute to do that for me now. Otherwise, with the pressure of all of this, it will slip your mind over and over again to yourself, all right? It's a number between 1 and 6. That's all this is now. In a moment, I'll get you to count from 1 to 6. As long as you can do that, you're absolutely fine.
Okay.
Okay, behind me is the bulletproof glass. Behind that's a chair. You're going to go and sit in that chair for your own safety when I tell you to. The chair is bolted to the floor. You must not move out of the chair. You must stay in the chair, all right? Okay. Whatever happens, you don't move, and whatever happens, you do not try and stop me. Don't call out, don't try and stop it, all right? If I'm not 100% confident, I won't do it, I won't pull the trigger.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'd like you to go and sit in the chair. There are ear protectors on the chair, just put them on your lap for now, you won't need them quite yet. You sat in the chair?
Yep.
Can you see me in the gun?
Yes, I can.
James, I'm going to ask you in a moment to count from 1 to 6. I'm only going to ask you to do this once. You need to count clearly and slowly and loudly so I can hear you. From 1 to 6. Listen, very important as you count. Don't give me any clues. Don't try and help me. If you try and help me, James, it will confuse me. And it's really important I'm not confused. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, it does.
All right. When I say go, just take a little while. Just take a moment just to take a breath and relax. And then count from 1 to 6. Loudly, clearly, and slowly. Take a breath first. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to set the gun to a chamber that I feel is safe. That's number 3. Number 3, I feel is safe. Each time that I pull the trigger, the chamber will rotate 1 round. So I'm going to start by firing number 3, which I feel is safe, and then 4, then 5, then 6, and then 1, and then 2. Number 3, I feel is safe. James, will you put your ear defenders on? Number 3, I feel is safe. Number 4, I feel is safe. Number 5. Stand up. Thanks. You all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have your eyes open? Were you watching?
Yeah, at that point I did, yeah.
Yeah. You're extraordinary, thank you.